Just when Kula is broken and served, when palm wine is lifted and gifted to ancestors before the living take their share, these they do in memory of their immortals. Birds chirp in cheerful laughter, a little snail gleams with bravery as the eyes of the past never blinks. From the thick forest of the Cameroons, across the cross river of the Niger area in Africa, inside Ajaram takes you through an ancient thriving heritage and habitat. Using the lens of the time, we shall take you through the minds and legacies of Ejagam's past, present, and future.
Let's jump, Mario! Yeah, Mario! Come on.
You just can't stop watching.
This is the beginning of a long journey inside Ejagham, a unique documentary series put together by Ejagham Tradition Center, Ejagham. Here it is that Ejagham people are now telling stories of themselves by themselves. May 9, 2020 marked the beginning of our journey inside Ajaram, and it was graced by wonderful moments with Pa Rafael. Ntufam Ndep Egbe Raphael, fondly called Pa Rafael, is an Ejagham Tradition Custodian from Oguran community in the Republic of Cameroon, now resident in another Ejagham community in Nigeria, courtesy of the civil unrest in his home country. One word describes him perfectly: sage. When Ejagham gathered that this sage was willing and yearning to share his knowledge on Ejagham traditional practices and Ejagham cultural expressions, a documentary team was mobilized to visit and engage with him. Pa welcomed us in Nderebiji Nkweku, non-christened New Ndebiji, in Akamba Ejagham cluster. He had arranged to sit for a discussion in the company of some youths. Once we had settled in the location, Pa ordered a chap by the name Etandabaje to serve us palm wine and cola. As it is customary in Ajaram, a libation to ancestors remained the opening to any event. He prayed. Pouring with his left hand, he rebuked all negative forces against the success of our gathering.
Bonoko. There war. A war. Tokorova. Dande Badon. Mona na reke yatak. Aronen gun pepe ni senka pon aron kai mejum. Ye famba kana mo. Me fenen fon ba be yat ni beren konen enju. Oh, fon ebi mi bi tema kanwa. Ayunga ma ye yo me ne obo.
With his right hand, he blessed a sitting and invited his ancestors to receive with joy the drink that he offers them.
Erum kanti, erum kabon, erum kake, erum ke omengejum, erum kongwet, biaba, kau kak omengengwet, we are reverend. Erum ejare wo, ane kituan.
The next action item was the serving of palm wine to everyone there seated. As one would suspect, attire was never going to be perfect in observing the drink-sharing principle in Ajaram. But Pa was more concerned with helping everyone there to learn than find faults. There we learned the following. Everyone drinks from one cup as a symbol of unity and love. It is inappropriate to use the palm wine meant for drinking to rinse the sharing cup, since any attempt to deliberately pour the palm wine on the floor is considered an act of libation, and libation is an exclusive activity. The person serving the gathering offers the palm wine first to 2 people, then drinks as the third, before offering the 4th round to the presider or oldest person in the sitting. Once anyone drinks from the cup, the sharer empties it appropriately before serving someone else. Everyone stands before the presiding officer and often the oldest person in the gathering to drink their share of the palm wine. The sharer does not depart until the meeting comes to an end. After the first round of sharing, anyone was free to request for more, but only the sharer reserved the exclusive right to offer the drink. The last share of the palm wine belongs to the oldest person in the gathering. Cola was served in a more general sense, following 8 ranks, from the oldest to the youngest. Pa, however, provided tips on the different ways of serving cola in Ajaram. He made it clear that Ajaram people use cola serving styles to communicate highly classified information. Whether he wanted us to continue with the meeting or depart due to a planned evil against us, he will communicate such by serving us the cola in a particular way. But that is the focus of another episode of this program.
Someone in Puno are the most eldest person there. Okay, Tongue Abu. Pepan and Bakumo, Evoni. Abon say Boning Joki Yam Yameron, the Mokumi. Okay, Tongue Pepe Abu. Eposing of Bukma. Okina Yabako. Benji Changpaka into Kumbanya.
Pa launched his presentations by describing his attire. According to him, his attire represents a high-ranking Ngbe initiate who has completed all stages of initiation, given that Ngbe is a graded institution. His headgear was illustrative of that. It is common knowledge that Ngbe, the Leopard institution, is an Ajaram creation, serving as the people's supreme governance system.
No, even be, I even be, Ngenji, Jin Kakao Tamfi, Edwe Seji Calabar, Brekamfi, Ojo nkang fitat. Eche nkang fitat. Eche nkang fitat. Pepe ye. Itam fin kakofa. Mfi abngo se. Itame tamingbe. Myuri. Ono fa mfa. Efure bara bakere fa. Okip njabincha. Arefa. Okip amngengumi. Are. Okip ngamare. Omngene ruma bunga se ngama. Mone nyamare fa ya tara kana ya mngna. Okip ke itam pa mo ke na mngame. Itam ke. Okay na mng. So ekije je senje pe keji nga ngo kantike yari. Ndara mbanje keji. Ani amnge senji mi bimingo mi ma. Me to kumbat benjom yak. Ya consent ke jam. Dinen ki koji. Sen tu jom ya re ke ya tek men po juen jam chang. Ben sie tek akiba no wa sin jom. Ki ji. Because me mng. Same farm. Ki ji. Nkuma ten farm. That is so mi bimingo ni ma. Oko kaka itam fi o ko gbe o yuro gbe pe yo itam ngbe na bere due se nenyo akam gbe efon e brora efon itam fi abnga si o beto ki kakne rabe singa ane anyo apa taraka ko akam yo ane ba suma ebi mo gbe itam fi ri fi tarire yo kak Ero rena, pero que campire ye, lo que está logré, voy. That is so cambe, pero que también be. So rambo yengbe, ofon fe kama, itam fin bua kakao nai sangosa, ide kanjo. O kakao yo yengbe, abo jingbe o que camfi, o que camfi, o jak. Among so yende. Bero kamfi. Joka je tamen do Europe pe akiupa. Ngombe ya kitupong akara.
Pa named all the items used in making his headgear and explained their significance. But that shall be analyzed elaborately in our upcoming series on Ngbe. Pa swiftly reminded us that he was simply scratching the surface of a giant iceberg with reference to Ejagham Heritage, and that due to the encrypted and conservative nature of Ajaram people, certain practices are kept secret and sacred.
Amen.
The high point of our first meeting was the exhibition of different artworks used for cultural displays in Derebijing Weku. Pa was keen on discussing Ngbe with us, albeit on the periphery. It is a fact that the glory of this institution attracted many non-Ejagham groups to adopt and adapt Ngbe to their societies. According to Pa, only Ajaram knows and can practice the core of Ngbe. To give us a clue about Ngbe, Pa arranged for us to tour Ochamembe in our core community. This is a lodge where Ngbe meetings are held and its items preserved. It is a house of Ngbe, the Leopard's lodge. Ngbe is horrifying and harmless simultaneously. Its uniqueness lies in its creative synthesis of opposites in fruitful intra- and intercommunal harmony. Law and order is its ultimate principle. As we walked in, Pa knew and took his place. And as we observed, we saw the unity and basic points of universal uniformity in Ngbe. Ngbe Areit was the resounding echo from a host, Ntufam Ndep Egbe, the acting village head of our core community.
Ajaram Bayet, or Ginger Cameroon, or Ghana, Nigeria, Bayet. Nyarena Gong and Tubingang Makara, Abnano said, Constitution. Jato is Engian Egajoy, Asen Gosen Peperaki. Manage Vanova. Egato Sevan Bochai. Aresari. Ujimin Ejagham, Liafi Nangbe, a joiner, a Yumji Makara Seneko Sen. Mbe, Akasen Kosenaki. A random fire dominare, a Ronman a Puabran, a Koi, a Pim Vamago.
Ngbe is such a beautifully organized institution that regulates how its members walk, talk, eat, sit, and even gesticulate within and without Ochamimbi. It has its processes, yet never a dogmatic orthodoxy. After a welcome remark by our host, the baton was handed to Pa to familiarize us with the lodge and its contents. The depth of Pa's knowledge of the subject matter, how they may initiate, so much that they could not help but join our tour train and nodded with vitality to the rare details Pa was baking. The makeup of Ochamengwe, which is a future focus of this program, shall illustrate this in full.
Okia ndiare tengbe. Olorun ajewe se okia abon ejumdi. Ejumdi ona pa. Nji yo kwa bon ba kete. Eko o so na bi jo ba kete. Eko o pon jo ju kete. Nji yo cho kama. Oko ifo ketam. Even be a call can have a doom. Oh, the phone, the area can see it. You happy some minutes, and no, no, and a piano. A king, they king. If I at every young pay. A wound the actual if I talk with the alcohol saw. That fancy. You won't be whatever I ever mean. When you're in your call, you got time. You ever have. Over ye got time of Ian Penny. Over 5 young in Bay. Or people are in that.
Moments with Pa Rafael remain priceless, given his enthusiasm to share his thoughts and our commitment to document, digitalize, and disseminate Ejagham traditional practices and Ejagham cultural expressions. We organized a special interview for Pa Rafael in Calabar. Here, Pa gave fascinating responses to a wide range of questions from Asong Joy and Ekumse Daniel. When asked to introduce himself a little further, Pa immediately delved into his area of deep interest, Ejagham tradition, before explicating his outfit.
Well, concerning tradition, we take Ngbe first in the tradition of Ejagham man. Throughout Ejagham and part of Cross River State. All the Ejagham in Cross River State, they have Ngbe. And that is why we count Ngbe as one part of the government. Because Ngbe take care of everything in our villages. So Ngbe have many laws. Ngbe has nothing to do like a cultist. Anything harmful. Ngbe is love. Ngbe don't want anybody who is raw or rude to any community. Ngbe makes everybody living in Ejagham land not to steal, not to commit adultery, not to kill, not to tell lies, not to do anything contrary, which people will say this thing you have done is bad. They don't want it. That is why we cannot stop Mbe in Ejagham land. And if you go in any village which has no launch of Mbe or Mbe house, that is not a village. You see my cap. This cap indicates a man who had completely gone to Mbe, right to the bush of Mbe, and has nothing, no small juju in Ejagham which he had not gone. So this cap that I'm wearing, when I wear and enter any village, they will know that I've completed everything as a member of Mbe. Then you come to the this one, we call it Mbome. This is Mbome. I put it, it's Mbome. And this Mbome, we call it in Ejagham Epanginoko, which is from olden days. And only a person who is old, a senior man in the Mbe society, you find him with this. Without that, you cannot wear anything contrary, because Mbe had many branches of Mbe, and they have many things. You cannot move with a staff when you have not answered the voice of Mbe. But now, here in Ejagham land, because government has come, many things have come, you see a boy who knows next to nothing moving with a staff. He's also putting Mbome on his neck. And even he ties Leopard. In our villages, we don't want that. Before you wear all those things, we know that you have gone far. And if you wear in our village, we call you and get you discipline, and then give you a fine not to do it next time.
Okay, Pa, how about the staff that you carry? There's a white handkerchief on it.
This staff, as you see, the staff like this, you see this one. I will not talk about this one because you people are not members. If had it been that there is a member of Mbe here, immediately I come here, you will exactly know what this means.
For our discussion to have the depth it so deserves, we switched from communicating in English language to Ejagham language. Though our Ejagham dialects differed, but were highly intelligible. When Joy inquired from Pa why Ejagham had clusters of dialects, Pa drew our attention to the fact that dialectal variations within a shared language were a common feature of large nations globally.
Menki babero ka inchi benchor ni choro mfa nga yimenchoro ya wina nanji pepe ni asiri ama chor ni ne nyaru weteketa ama mo chor ni menchoro ni menchoro mfa re nyimbo monye na menyongo akomo nkpenyingo ama mo chor nyimbo bi ni menchoro eru nan kan tibichore jago mare kan pakkan
Pepe Ejagham when they are correct short nan, when they are correct short nan, the Jiori in Ejagham of on Kayo. Well, G. Kaibo, Tikibo Arengo, Chochor, Pickbo, Chochor, Young Jack Aki Chot, Mba, Pepaka Neabachore, Neabaki. I found the Abangasi Ibo Genara. Beka radio aki usually. So Pa Ejagham, say on radio. Then Ejagham Ejagham aki choro, aki modernize a yumji. Dia watch or radio use or chop. So when you chorombo we menki yoka. And then by Ejagham baby ngonga say a ya. rồi cam bọt so phẳng Abidjan bên tech nhỉ bồi tôm ấy vốn chín chi bên nhà bồi yết trắng nhà chọn đó yết trắng because mình the original Ejagham man de phone món si Ejagham ở trắng cái bàn gì cả ngon cũng này ở phone cái á phone chọn để bồi gì ở chắc ở phone ở vang phiền á phone chọn để gì cái vấn đề khi bằng ngày chúng ta trong mình số xe đi xong ấy abo abang xe lolo gue con nào manga so quick bây giờ mà để bảo cái cái nhiều cá đó gì mà nó mặc ăn dùng mình sao bây giờ mà để non cho ra chả sẽ về cái cỏ về cái cho làm chả.
Who is an Ajaram person, and what unique features distinguishes Ajaram communities? Pa responded swiftly by mentioning Ejagham, the wooden gong, and Ntufam Ndep, the Leopard's lodge, and explained further.
C'est aussi que comme tu, c'est tu tiens au couvercle. Because all on aussi était, boro on tu femme, quand tu es, oh yimi quand tu as même au qui est né you quand on boit ça. Indicate c'est pour la fenêtre.
Government ya fono chamarenyen.
Fono cham, bea fono cham. Do akumare koti, ben beare. Ntufam nyo fono chambi ora ramba osi nyo cham bare be ka nyo cham o kitchen mpe oboru mo ye o ching pe obo ke o faba yo janjara o yimi ka nyo mbo cham o kiene yuk keno ye ko cham yu ke re ga ke yata keno ye ko cham Orambo ye ko cham jo chugon pe worum o pugina mpe oboke o kien kaninka nya tap kaninka nye mani changna na ji ono te ma ime zum o chung o di sin so fonti o ja ji ka government report afio ye abo police na kwimba kare ke tek pe mangam e me no fon shot Odi ye, ko chame jwe se wok, we oro ye ngbe. O seri ne a chingbe che chong sum gam kanika, aji sum ni, bogom. Dia sumo nyondi, bo atua fambare ke tengi taru ngi. Aja ko cham se di yok. O ko si ko cham o kon kom. O kon chore ya o kia bo ko chi. Yo kon choro kia bo ko chi. Aki kep kan chor ni. Erenji ya uba nyongo nyo. Se aki ko atua mama be atua mama ni jorni amano manfo yo kon bi Ejagham fona ti songo kona ti magura ka gome monyen nyo ruwe ji jara we botat atua se wen pak diko bo police aba ubi Ejagham ka kontu.
A follow-up question was for Pa to list the different grades in Mbe. He listed them and stated that the grade with so much learning is a Mbe. Here is a stage where Mbe initiates are given proper Mbe induction in a reserved Mbe forest.
O ye Mbe ekuyo meje tio. Orambo ye Mbe nya tio. Oh ni. Nyari acheng yam ke pe acheng. Are oro yam. Bởi có phùi baba, yo về đâu về ra làm, em baba yo dùng giá này cái ba bằng này, em baba maki đi baba làm, well nè baba làm một trong đó baba man vào coi gì nó đi đi, yo dùng yo đây baba baba nhon đi bé cả phone về dùng ai mà này, bé bé nè ai mà mình này thì, nó baba làm mà mình nó yam, bởi vì nó phùi có yam pe, yuri có phun bị bật. O karo karen pima maybe o koreman so kiki o yamanyam yeri kanja bo fo be ko fu o yamanyam yet o karen pima be be ko fu o yam o karen before ba euro karen pima ma si sam Yo we for no home.
Man can give me can wait.
Yo man Jimmy. Yo beren sara wa bere Jimmy nyor yo. Orambo ching for. O jang be nya nga se bi kwandi. Okpo ji bi kwandi nyonji. Orambo jak bi kwandi. Abuke grandma because bi kwandi nyore. Ngbe nya fang. Abuke kamamana se. Oji kame yumengbe. Orambo kame yumengbe yo kama. Bere yumengbe fange chingi pepe ogbe. Because ebun hingbe abanga. O kamwa. Se kupngbe. Wo kup ye bari o wa. Kamu tama waso. Nenyo aro kam. Chongo yebe. Oboko chonchot kamgbe. E manage obung nenyo akame yumengbe a chonchora kara. Okpo makai fo. O jakai tamingbe. Okpo ji ke tamingbe pepe ro kamgbe nya chi ochi ro pepe ogbe. Ntufam nemon fan o ti o cheng. E ro man ko ogbe pepe. E ro ogbe bi pepe ke tamingbe ngo. Pepe bo isong fiao se song mianko. Yue fang a cheng ya ro ke tamingbe. Bo gbeore ko ti wa kwa kama o tin o ti o cheng yo ji mengi man o gbe bi pepe o ba man o ro ka mi kan ye fu re ba ra ba yo mengi pepe o gbe ko ka tam ye fu re ba ra ba be ro ji fu re ba ra ba wa ka tam e fo ko chang sia ki yu a o re ka ngo men yup. As we feel no phone of us, or Sarah and do matter mokumaye, or yam benny, or yamagwe, makwe, or fan canty akara or carry pepe, or say.
When asked to address the contentious belief that Ngbe masquerade that performs in public has no eyes, Pa responded with a rhetorical question, seeking to understand how a blind masquerade could perform so majestically in public.
Nenyo aka fon bangi ko ya. Ni aka fon amara imana na ajena be na kangu, achenga kangu aka fon amara. Nyo ka yamekwe ka be yat eki so dara nake wo boko be no na nake ayimi ga se ndi fona be no kumbi e yebe mana kambangi seme amangi seme ambe no ne jakam chongo yimo akuma mari chang ure tubo make yate o kuma marare amat aroju amat kono kumoje na mo kiji odi kwan ke te ogbo ken chongo fit ogbo ko fubat because okay en ba
Kam form on yakano e naki yamra make na moya.
Nfo phone yare fo amara me are ko ya. Ayi meji en ba. Betang aka yimji eju etongom ko ti. Diwe po yimi na on se nge nenyo are ongo nge mu ko yare ye. Bokumbi oro fo na eji na ba chang.
As the interview progressed, Pa made an astonishing claim that the sign language used in Ngbe was originally called Evami, while Nsibidi was a dreaded masquerade in Ajaram. The contention lies between the concepts Evami, Nsibidi, and Chabi. While this claim calls for further inquiry, he stated his position very clearly. Because Ngbe na the supreme government. And Ajaram. We're not Choraman when Chonan native. Go Kumbi Naru Giamo Menenguri, so Kumbi Naro and Kanajabai. A bond you enough Panon Kiri or Choran Chot native. Having a setting.
Orambo Fab Kayate. Okay, Choran Chot. A key shot. Moruki. Bagetongum. Whatever on this, ever me. Ever me. Mention Ntufam kitchen. mi. Ndop chen ku le je. Nywa mange jin ji men do ho le. Aki tame. Abanga se ba mi. Yo tu ma banga. Se ba mi.
Okay, Papa man, etuane oyokware ka etuano are nsibiri. O etu senchbi na tuba nga sensibiri.
Nsibiri. Nsibiri nchabi. Nsibiri are okumbi bi. Biemani oko achiane. Labongo sensibiri. Then nchabi are okumbi okiban ke Ejagham. Asat bi yandek. Ani awu imba phone kom. Because aro yigi abo manage adi bomne. You have no sense chabi. So nji abo abongo nyonji. Alright, nchi erongang. Nchi nya at oronchop. Aba ba senchi ya imodin. Kono sare senchi ya re aki imsigiri. Nchi abo ima abo. Aro bonga seje. So mngeba minchi ya. Nsibiri are okumbi bibi nchabi are okumbi bi jojue kangu ne mani bo changna nanji be chikjat bo changna nanji je ki kwan chabi ki o ekwan sibiri be fene obongo bongne okumbi oro so ba yuri tori ayung so ntu akum are ro pom Maki imne jum jap. Sibiri ora mbo tiri se ndo yima tan sibiri. Oka imne nyo. Oka kaka yem. Ndiye gwesi aki banga kaka yem. Akaka yem when tiro. Yo akum mabi maroke man.
On the widely held belief that an Ejagham woman first discovered Ngbe before their male counterparts dominated it, Pa analogized his response with the virgin birth tradition in Christendom. His cutting-edge analysis enthralls.
I said, same the cat, you can have a table. You know, away. Ramba can't wait. Adibo away. Come on, even way. So, man, I come. Badibo away. Come to mess out. Badibo are abon. So, I call share and way. Nenkenyo mbenge yare angwe ken Ntufam sangare
Kaba kan pamna
ko sangare yes you din be are benana diabo ngo se sangale
ngo banja mikibe
yes o sangare you din be are saringam fo os nge ka ko be din dio jaochi because men ngo saria sara fo wi Jinsero Obabanga Medinji or Jacochi on the Mempa Bere. Etiasari say Mary. I can't know one and do but Holy Ghost I didn't know away. I call yam Jesus. You almost say Holy Ghost I can commit Kona. Jin younger and K Joseph. So to be setting video was almost some be. Job and young Chorofa and John Fan Tamatam.